Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. First things first, I just want to say, shout out to the family in Kenya. Shout out to the family in Kenya. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Y'all did y'all thing. You showed up. You showed out. You let it be known in front of the entire world that even though the president might be in bed with the foreign powers, the citizens, the population, you let it be known in front of the entire world that you would not tolerate any of these machinations. You took to the streets, you let your voice be heard, so much so that the government had to fall back. They had to capitulate. They had to capitulate. Listen, I gotta show love, man. Round of applause for Kenya. Round of applause, man. Shout out to the homies in Kenya, man. Now let's get into it. Now today's video is gonna be a follow-up video to the one I dropped the other day in regards to the situation going on in Kenya, right? The protests and the political unrest surrounding the economic policy of President William Ruto. Now, as you already know, William Ruto, in case there was any speculation, last month he confirmed our suspicions. He is absolutely 1000% a vassal of the United States, a vassal of the Western powers. It ain't no ifs and buts about it, all right? In fact, just last week, the United States had officially designated Kenya as a non-NATO ally. And as you already know, when it comes to geopolitics, when you are in bed with the United States, it's not simply a matter of trade or doing business. When you are in bed with the United States, when the United States sees you as an ally, and this goes beyond the United States, this applies to the Western nations in general, right? When you are seen as an ally to these nations, you have to renounce your sovereignty and independence, right? You no longer have autonomy over your internal administration. They want to influence your economic policy, your security apparatus, your media, your cultures and customs. It goes beyond simply being an ally or a partner. They want to have influence over every sector of your nation. Now, William Ruto, in an effort to solidify his relations with the United States, he has said yes to everything the United States has demanded of him. And of course, he's in a tight situation because not only does the United States have blackmail on William Ruto from years back, but also the government of Kenya is in a lot of debt. They're in a lot of debt. And that's also the reason why William Ruto said yes when the United States had requested for them to take the lead role in the multinational security mission down in Haiti. Right now, of course, they presented it as a Pan-African collaboration, but the reality of the matter is Kenya is in a lot of debt. And listen, William Ruto is trying to snatch up money any way he can. That's all it's about. It's about a check. Now, in this situation, like I said, because it's about a check and he's in the pocket of the West and the IMF, he decided to introduce a new economic policy, a finance bill for the year 2024. And when this bill was introduced to the population, riots broke out in the streets because not only is William Ruto not creating any jobs, he's not creating any industry, like he said when he was campaigning and he was talking about we're going to strengthen local industry and become more self-sufficient and be, we're going to go away from foreign investment. Of course, he walked back all those campaign promises. So he's not creating jobs. He's not focusing on local industry. No, he's not doing none of that. He's sending jobs overseas. He's talking about, listen, you can go travel overseas, travel abroad, work in different countries. He's not creating any jobs in the local economy. And on top of not creating any jobs, he's raising taxes on a population that is already experiencing high unemployment. And the reason he's raising taxes is because the government has to pay back loans they took from these Western institutions. And part of the reason why they sent troops to Haiti was because that was going to give them access to more loans, right? They were going to give them access to more capital. That's the real reason why they agreed to send troops over to Haiti on behalf of the United States. Now, unfortunately for William Ruto, he obviously did not anticipate this. He obviously did not see this coming. He obviously did not picture millions of people taking to the streets, rioting against his government. He obviously did not factor that into the equation. And he did not expect it to go so crazy to the point where he actually had to walk it back. Yeah, he actually had to walk it back. Yeah, he actually had to cancel the bill. He crumbled under the pressure of the people. He was overwhelmed and he surrendered to the will of the population. And unfortunately, this came after several people had lost their lives in the streets. Now, like I said in my last video, I'm gonna wait and see. Is William Ruto going to be sanctioned by the Western powers? Is he going to be slandered in the Western media? Is his visa going to be revoked? We got to wait and see. From these so-called nations that call themselves defending human rights and democracy, we got to wait and see if they hold true to their mission statement. But anyways, man, let's jump into these articles. Take a look up on the screen. The president of Kenya, William Ruto, withdraws the controversial finance bill following deadly protests. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, shout out to the family in Kenya, man. You know, Kenya gets a bad rap. Kenya gets a bad rap, man. Folks be trying to crack jokes on Kenya. They be clowning Kenya, saying they love white folks and things like that. They be calling Kenya, you know, they be saying they be tap dancing for the white folks. But listen, Kenya showed out. Kenya showed out. Kenya did it bigger than everybody on the continent, man. Listen, apart from maybe Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, you can now add Kenya to that list of nations who's really going around with that revolutionary energy at the moment. And that goes to show you how fast things can change. Because if you would have told anybody 10 years ago that France will be driven out of Africa and Kenya would be rising up against the Western-backed government and making them capitulate and go back on their policies, nobody would believe you, bro. Nobody would believe you. But that goes to show how fast things can change, man. Things can change very fast. Anyways, man, let's jump into this article. Kenyan President William Ruto said Wednesday that he will not sign a controversial finance bill, backing down in the face of mass protests that swept the country and left at least 23 people dead. Now, obviously, the Western governments, the Western media, they're going to downplay William Ruto's brutality and his crimes against humanity, because I'm hearing there were hundreds of people that got murdered. Elderly, women, children, everybody in between. I'm hearing it was in the hundreds of people that got killed. But of course, like, as you already know, William Ruto, a darling of the West, they're going to downplay it. They're going to, they're going to sanitize it. Oh, it was only, 3 people that died. It was, 7 people, 2 people, when it was hundreds of people. Hundreds of people lost their lives. But if it was a government that was adversarial to the West, that was not playing ball with the West, you could have killed 3 people, and the Western media is going to launch an attack against you on all their media platforms. You could have killed 3 people. They're going to say he killed 3,000 people. He's a dictator. But if you are playing ball with the West, if you are in the pocket of the West, you can kill hundreds of people. They're going to say, oh, he killed 5 people. He killed 10 people. He killed 23 people. Lies. That boy killed hundreds of people. They killed hundreds of people. Let's continue. Protesters in Kenya say they will go ahead with a 1 million people march on Thursday, that's today, despite Ruto accepting their key demand of scrapping the bill. Now, this is the thing. This goes beyond the finance bill. The finance bill was the one that detonated the explosion. But they want his administration, they want him gone. They want him overthrown. They're trying to remove him from power. It goes beyond, getting a bill scrapped. They want Ruto's administration to be removed from power. Removed from power. Listen, hey. Where's the defenders of democracy at? Where are the defenders of democracy? Where they at? Hey, aren't they always talking about, oh, we got to protect the people. We got to respect the will of the people. Well, guess what? The people have taken to the streets by the millions. They say they want this administration dissolved and removed from power. So where are the so-called defenders of democracy? Where's the international community to defend the will of the people? Oh, you see, you don't hear none of these conversations when it comes to William Ruto. When it comes to William Ruto, you see that they still trying to get behind him. They still trying to rally behind him. It's hilarious to witness the hypocrisy play out in live time. Because if it was anybody else, you would have been hearing calls to restore democracy, protect human rights, promote stability, support freedom and justice, defend the rule of law, preventing humanitarian crisis. Listen, you would have heard all them buzzwords, all them catchphrases, right? But because it's William Ruto, Joe Biden's homeboy from Kenya, you don't hear none of those conversations. You don't hear none of those catchphrases. Let's continue. A poster shared widely on social media calls on all generations to return to the streets across the country on Thursday and block roads leading to the capital. Some protesters have also called for people to occupy the State House in Nairobi. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has spoken with Ruto since the clashes to urge restraint. Oh, you see, I told you. You see, Ruto's not going to get sanctioned. Ruto's not going to get his visa revoked. Ruto's not going to be slandered in the media. Anthony Blinken called him on speed dial, giving him advice. Anthony Blinken gave him some words of encouragement. Listen, this man committed crimes against humanity on live television in front of the entire world. We got camera phones and internet and social media. We seen him gunning down black men and women and children. I seen a black man laying dead in the street with his brains leaking on the pavement. But Anthony Blinken giving him a call talking about, hey, listen, bro. Just show restraint. We're not gonna sanction you. We're not gonna do nothing to you, bro. It's all good, bro. It's all love, bro. Just calm down a little bit, bro. Don't worry, your visa's still good. Your visa's still good. You can come to the crib next week. Come to the crib next week. We can talk about it, bro. Like, don't worry about nothing. We got you. We got you. You good, bro. You good. Don't worry about you good, bro. You good. Don't worry about nothing, bro. I'm telling you, man. Politics is a crazy game. Politics is something funny to watch, something funny to witness, man. That's why you gotta really examine these things with a critical eye, man. Because if you don't examine things with an intelligent analysis, they're really gonna try to run a game on you, bro. I'm telling you, they're really gonna try to run a game on you. Let's continue. Dramatic scenes in the nation's capital, Nairobi, saw government buildings set on fire and a ceremonial mace stolen from the parliament in the Malay. Kenyan lawmakers were evacuated from the parliament as police went up against protesters. Now, like I said, man, Kenya, listen, y'all cannot say nothing bad about Kenya no more. Y'all cannot crack jokes about Kenya no more, right? Listen, y'all can't be saying Kenyans be tap dancing and they be bowing down, and you can't say that no more, because they took to the streets, they went straight to the government buildings, and they set fire to the government buildings. Listen, shout out to the brothers in Kenya. Shout out to the young women in Kenya. Shout out to the family in Kenya. Like I said, even though the president might be a sellout, I got so much respect for the population of Kenya for holding them accountable, and also holding the international community accountable, because this tax bill, this finance bill, it came from the IMF. And in order for President Ruto to get access to more IMF loans, he had to capitulate and do the bidding of the United States by sending troops to Haiti. And unfortunately, some of those men are gonna die in Haiti. That's a fact of the matter. Some of those men are gonna go to Haiti and never come back. And President Ruto sacrificed those men in order to pay off his IMF loans. And if it wasn't for the brave men and women of Kenya for rising up and standing up in the face of injustice, President Ruto would have sacrificed you also in order to pay off those IMF loans. But y'all took to the streets and y'all said, we not having that, bro. We not having that. Hashtag Ruto must go. Now, before I get out of here, I'm gonna play some clips and then we out. Run the footage, we out.
Orders for tomorrow, Thursday the 27th of June, have been released, and they are to kill anyone who tries to enter or who tries to approach State House. My message to Kenyans is, don't be scared, don't be intimidated. Yesterday, Tuesday the 25th of June, they murdered innocent civilians on their way home. They killed children, they killed mothers, they killed the elderly. Over 300, close to 300 people were murdered. If you will be murdered at home, tell me where you are safe. If you will be murdered at home, tell me where you will be safe. Let us not lose focus, let us be determined, and let us not be scared. Ruto must go.
And listening keenly to the people of Kenya, who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn, and I have agreed with these members that becomes our collective position.
Man, listen, it's your boy Never Card. That's a link back in the Billy. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the album, man. Support the album. Peace.
No, feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife. Yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Back in my city they loving me. Standing alone I'm 100 deep. Enemy plotting and still in reach. They trying to make sure that we underneath. Trying to make sure that we never make it. Coming for power, come get acquainted. Coming for everything that I wanted. Feeling like Drake but I really wrote it. Feeling like Kendrick, I'm checking names. Gotta roll up while I go insane. Got so much stress I been gained weight. Stuffing these racks in this Louis case. One thing for certain, I'm about to check. Keep it 100 and nothing less. Stick with the family since day one. Had to stay down till my day come. Had to stay down but I'm never patient. Hop on the mic and I'm motivated. Hop on the mic and I drop a classic. Haters can't see me, they copping glasses. Back in the studio making magic. Got a new tape and it's in production. Back on my business, I got a budget. Staying low key when I'm out in public. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife. Yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news.